Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Vivian from ThePaperLetterBlog and I'm back with a journal with me video. Now, I am still a snail mail, pen pal, a happy meal related channel, but I like to branch out every now and then, and I actually had a lot of fun uploading my first journal with me video, so I thought I would give it another go. If you want to check out the first video, I will link that down below, but I'm just going to continue right where I left off last time. What you first saw me do is flip through the first few pages quickly. Like I said, if you want to see what they are and how I made them, I will link that video down below. Now, first thing I want to say is that I filmed this video back in November when I just had my overhead camera, and as you can see, I'm still not very much used to the angle here because I keep leaning forward and you keep seeing the top of my head. It's pretty bad and I apologize for that, but it does get better, and also I am now much more used to it, so it doesn't happen that often anymore. But this is a little bit of an older video, so I still do that quite a lot. I'm sorry, it looks very annoying, but I cannot really change it now. I mean, obviously I learned, but what I'm doing is basically, this journal to me is a way of memory keeping. I also want to do some art pieces in here, but I think the main goal for it is to do memory keeping. So what I did is I printed a whole lot of pictures. I printed them on my home computer with my regular printer, so that the actual printed image quality is not that great. But I don't have like a photo printer, so I'm just using those pictures to give like an actual representation of certain memories. And then I am so sorry for my head, I really am. I also want to do some writing so that I can you know, also read back some of the things that have happened. So this page I'm doing here, this little flap, I'm actually very annoyed by my own head, but okay. This little flap was about my last days in the cat cafe, because like I said, I filmed this back in November, and back in October were my last days. So I just printed a picture that was once taken of me in the cat cafe. It's not of my last day exactly, but it is in the cat cafe, so I just used that. And then I wrote final day in the cat cafe, and then I did some private journaling, because that flap is actually a pocket and there's a pretty tag inside the pocket, so I did some journaling on the back of the tag, you know, some things that I do not want to share online. So I will leave that the tag in the pocket because that is private. But by the way, I'm also showing, I took some very good pictures of these journal pages, so at the end of the video I'm going to show you the pictures, so then even if you cannot really see it now because my head keeps bobbing in and out of the frame, you will see some close-ups at the end. So that is a bag of tea I received from Jane. It also says right on the tea bag Jane. I just thought I'd put that in there because the colors match so perfectly. But I am still finding a balance, because this is my very first memory keeping journal I've ever done, and it's also on camera, so I'm still finding a balance between what I want to show and what I don't want to show, such as these pictures. Some of these could be kind of private, but you know, I'm only choosing the ones that I want to share, and also that private journaling, because my goal is to do more writing as well, because I love looking at pictures, but writing really helps me. And but then again, there are also things that I do not want to share on my YouTube channel, because it's like private thoughts. So then those hidden pockets are perfect, because I can show you what I'm doing without actually showing what I've written down. And that is kind of perfect. So I'm going to do that more often. I'm also hoping to do some journaling that I can show you, because of course not everything is private. The reason why I don't want to show that writing is because my final days in the cat cafe were not per se positive. I haven't said that before, but I've worked there for a year, and I felt like my boss, she did not give me the recognition or the gratitude that I kind of hoped I would get. So that's why I I wanted to write that down just to get it off my chest, but you know, that's something for me and not for everyone. So that's why I put it in a hidden pocket. Then the next page is, I am going to add more pictures of that day later, because there were also professional pictures taken, but I did not have them at that time, so I just used the ones I took on my phone. It's from my boyfriend's sister's graduation day. She had a whole day and we watched her graduation, basically her, how do you call that, like she had to defend her piece. So we watched that, and then we had food after and beers after, and that was a lot of fun. So I decided to dedicate a page to that. But in the next video I'm going to add another page, just to add some more pictures. And what happened here, it went a little bit quickly, but I actually had glue on my finger and I accidentally smudged a little bit of the picture that I had glued down. It's a selfie from me and Gijs in the train on our way there. I accidentally smudged it and it didn't look nice anymore, so I tried to remove it. It looked horrible, and then I put a sticky note there saying that I had to reprint that picture, which I will do. I ended up printing it with my faux memo little printer, which is not ideal because it's black and white, but it actually looks kind of cool. So that was that day, and like I said, it's for memory keeping mainly because I forget so quickly all of the good things, and it's actually a lot of fun to go through old pictures, and I think that this will be a great way to do that. This page that I'm working on here is, I'm actually not going to finish now because in the end that is where the rest of the pictures will be in the next video, but I'm still I don't know that yet because I'm obviously winging it, so here I'm still trying to figure out a way to hopefully fill that page, and then I decided to just let it go and work on it another time, because although these are all recent pictures, recent memories, I do not want to stick to chronological order per se. Like obviously it would be nice if it's chronological order, but as you just saw, I was working on that one page, it didn't work out for me, so I decided just to come back to that page later. And I'm also doing that with memories. I just printed a whole lot of memory pictures, and you know, they don't have to be in chronological order. I know a lot of people would be very annoyed if things were not in chronological order, but for me, you know, as if I'm going to remember in a year which day was which, you know. I just want to keep track of everything. And as you can see, the page on the left, I already did in the previous video. It's basically a page where I wanted to write down one good thing each day, because like I said, I find it hard sometimes to focus on the good things, and making a little list like that helps. I totally got that idea from Kira Pace, by the way, Simply Creative Kira. She's my #1 inspiration for journaling, and I will link her channel down below if you want to check it out. I saw her do one of these pages once where she would write one positive thing a day, and that inspired me to try that as well. Next page, it's not that clear, but it's actually a picture of all of the incoming PO Box mail. Obviously I pick up PO Box mail nearly every month, but I just like that picture so much, all of the colorful envelopes, and then I decided to stick that in there as well, because if I'm completely honest, it is surreal to receive that much mail each month, and I enjoy it so much. I thought I would probably look back on that in like 10 years and smile. So I added a picture, and then I added some of the stamps that I thought were really pretty from incoming mail, obviously, and then I journaled something that said my PO Box mail today. It was a crazy amount, and then I wrote something like that I expected the mail to slow down each month, but it's still a crazy amount, and that is so surreal. Then these two pages are, I'm once again going to leave blank because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with that. So I decided just to skip these pages and then continue on to the next, and then I'm going to come back to those pages later, which works perfectly fine for me because chronological order would be nice, but in like a year or two I'm not going to remember the order of the days anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then I received that journal card that says Off the Beaten Path in a PO box mail, and I liked it so much I immediately put it in my journal stash because I think it goes perfectly with that sort of fall theme that is going on. So I covered the back of that journal card with some grid paper, and I journaled on that, and what I wrote is very much related to the image of the beaten path, and that is that I went for a long walk, which I've been doing a lot these days because it helps me clear my head, and forest bathing, as the Japanese would call it, is very good for you know, taking in the fresh air and the nature, and it helps me with my bad day. So I journaled on that card, and then I'm going to stick it in there with some washi tape, and then you know, you can flip it open to read. And I did not make it a flip or a tip in this time because I wanted it to be private. The reason why is because it's not necessarily a very positive story. I mean, I was feeling particularly bad that day, so this way I can choose to focus on only looking at happy memories and not being immediately confronted with sad feelings. So if I want, you can just read the note, and if I don't want, then I can just look at the pretty image and feel happy, because that's an image I took in the forest as well. And then I have these tiny bird stickers, which I absolutely love. They have like a wooden background, and then I don't remember what it said. It said something like, "Hey bird," or I don't know, something random that's kind of related to fall. And then I stuck down that picture of me that I took in, not the picture of me, a picture of the forest that I took as well. The last thing I'm doing before I show you the pictures is not that interesting. I actually have this journal I received from Becca, and she included a whole lot of like little cards and little tags, and this one is a memory keeping card that says what did you do, when did you do, who did you do it with, and I wrote down that my boyfriend and I went for dinner for our 6-year anniversary. So I just journaled about that. And now it's time for the pictures. I really hope you enjoyed this video. In the pictures you also see some pages that I have not made today because I actually made them yesterday in a new journal with me video part 3 that will come online very soon. But I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. You can also use hashtag ThePaperLetterBlog if you make a project inspired by one of my videos. Now, I really hope you guys have an amazing week, an amazing life, and I will see you again very soon. Okay, bye bye!